Hey guys, this is Craig Hostetler, and I'd like to welcome you to the Rebel Soul Syndicate. Thank you for hanging out with me on the podcast, man. I really appreciate you spending your time here. Really quickly, before we jump into what I want to talk to you about today, I wanted to let you know, if you don't follow myself or the Rebel Soul Syndicate on social media, I would encourage you to do that, man. I'm very active on those accounts, and I'd love for you to be a part of my world and for me to be a part of yours. You can find me at Craig Hostetler on Facebook, and then on Instagram, it's Craig K. Hostetler. On Instagram, it's Rebel Soul Syndicate, and all of those are available, and I'd really love for you to follow me there. Once you do, you can either pop me a DM or drop a comment on one of the posts and just kind of let me know that you're there. I'd really love the opportunity to connect with you. And yeah, just to know that you're there. I do this podcast and I really love doing it, but I also love knowing that you're out there hearing it and that it's making an impact on your life. Additionally, if you have questions about various subjects that you've heard on the podcast, please let me know. I'd love to expound upon those. Also, for those of you that have been asking, I've made a lot of physical transformations over the past year, and so some of you have asked about would I ever offer the opportunity to work with me on a fitness level. So I've started an online fitness coaching program. If you're interested in that, you can either DM me at any of the social media platforms you're connected with me on, or you can email me at craigkhostetler@gmail.com. And yeah, I do have a 90-day transformation program. It's going to be kind of tough because, I won't say exactly on the podcast the way that I want to do it, but I think it's going to be a very powerful program for those of you that have struggled to really make physical transformations. So if it's something that you're interested in or you'd like more info about it, very simply DM me again at any of the social media platforms that you follow me on, or you can email me at craigkhostetler@gmail.com. Also, in addition to that, I do work one-to-one with people on magic, meditation, and transformation, inward transformation. So those are also things that are available. And I get a lot of questions about meditation, which I'm a strong practitioner of, and magic as well. So if those are things you'd like further information on or a little bit of guidance or assistance on, I'm available for that as well. And again, just the social media platforms, a quick DM, or connecting with me through email by craigkhostetler@gmail.com. So what I'd like to talk to you about today is really seizing and owning your own life and exactly what that looks like. Ralph Waldo Emerson, who is someone that I'm a huge fan of, said, "I will do strongly before the sun and the moon that which inwardly gives me joy." And what Emerson was talking about is, I'm not going to be ashamed of the things that I find joyful. I don't care who judges me or who talks bad about me or who does or does not approve of my life. I will do it strongly and boldly. And so Emerson really was a guy who wanted to own his own life. He wrote a book called Self-Reliance. It's a brilliant work on being a self-reliant individual, because Emerson believed once we became self-reliant, once we followed our own path, once we had our own mind, our own thinking, our own views of the world, once we did the things that really mattered to us, that's when we begin to find independence. That's when we begin to find freedom. That's when we really begin to enjoy life. And I think that for so many of us, we don't own our own existence, right? We're continually looking for the approval and the acceptance and the permission of others to live the kind of life that we truly want to lead. And the question that begs to be asked is why? Why do we need somebody else's approval to be ourselves? Why do we need somebody else's approval to do the things that really make us happy or really bring us joy? Now, obviously, that fits within the container of not harming others, and it probably doesn't need to be said, but I'll say it anyway. Not at the pain of others, or not in objection to someone else's no or whatever. But outside of that, the things that really give us joy, we shouldn't be ashamed of. And whatever our hobbies are, if those are the things we love, then we should do them strongly, as Emerson said, before the sun and the moon. Hey, this is what I'm into. This is what I like. This is what brings me joy. This is my life. Or was it? There was an old Billy Joel song, and I can't remember exactly the lyrics, but basically it was the same thing. In fact, he said it with, I think, a little more bravado, right? But it was that same kind of concept, of go to hell with your own life, leave me alone type of thing. And really, that's it isn't the worst. I don't need you to. So these are the lyrics, right? I don't need you to worry for me because I'm all right. I don't need you to tell me when it's time to come home. I don't care what you say anymore. This is my life. Go ahead with your own life and leave me alone. And that's really the attitude, right? You go and do your thing. You go and do what you love. You have your beliefs. You have your views. You have your ideas and live your life, but I'm going to live mine. And for so many of us, we're really afraid to do that. Most of us don't own our own lives. We're living the lives that we want others, or we're living the lives that others really want us to lead. We don't say the things that are really truly on our mind. We don't do the things that we really truly love. We don't express ourselves the way we really want to express ourselves because we're trapped in the idea that we need social acceptance, that we need social affirmation and approval, that we need social permission to be ourselves. And so when we find someone who disregards the social norms and becomes who they want to be anyway, then we laud them as something special, as something significant, as someone brave or powerful or bold. But in reality, they're living life the way it's supposed to be lived on our own terms. You are an individual. And whether or not you want to believe in a divine entity, such as, let's say, from the Christian perspective, right? The psalmist wrote, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. He also said, you knit me together in my mother's womb. So even if you come at it from a Christian perspective, the sense of individuality is littered all through the scriptures of the Christian faith. And really almost every faith, even evolution, lets us know that each one of us is an individualized person with our own individual thoughts and ideas and the things that make us happy. So if you continue to live your life by the rules of others, or if you continue to live your life the way others want you to, or if you continue to try to be the person that others want you to, then you never become the explosion of the individual that is you. So, how do we do that? We're going to come back to one of the things that I always talk about, and that is finding a space of meditation. Why is that? Because we're so molested by the thoughts of others, by the dictates of society and culture, that we really no longer know who we are anymore, and we're disconnected from the divine compass, the divine leading that is within us. The only way to truly discover who it is that we really are and what we really want is through the process of reconnecting. And how do we reconnect? By finding a space of quiet and solitude. By finding a space where we can allow the voices, so many voices, man, so many voices, right? Whether it's television or whether it's society or whether it's culture or whether it's parents or whether it's relatives or anybody of social what's the word I'm looking for? Influence. Those voices are bouncing around on the inside of our head. And so we need to be able to find a place where we can really be at quiet and at peace, where the voices can become silent. So the true you and I, the true source of the divinity that is within us, can then be heard. When was the last time that you sat alone and really pondered, what do I want in life? When was the last time you sat alone and really thought, What is it that I truly love? Or what is my purpose? Or what is my ambition? What do I want to do with my life? When was the last time you really asked yourself, am I fucking happy? Right? For most of us, it's been a long, long time since we've had a true self-discussion where we really find out, am I happy? Do I love my life? What are the things that are holding me back? What are the things that are an offense to my soul? What places and spaces is the divine compass within leading me to? And how do I get there? What is it God wants for me? And all those kinds of questions are only going to be discovered through a meditation practice or process. It's really critically important that we understand this. For some of us that were raised in a church setting or had a heavy church influence over our lives, I promise you that you no longer know what you think anymore, that you still obviously have the ability to discover it, but it's harder for folks like you and I because we've been so inundated with the ideas of who and what God is, although most of those ideas don't line up with the Christian scripture, right? But we still have those ideas that it's become very hard for us to really hear our own inner voice, our own inner guidance. So here's what I'd like to offer you. An opportunity. If you'd like to know more about the meditative process of just connecting with your inner self, right? Really connecting with your own inner dialogue, the inner divinity. I have a meditation practice for you, absolutely free, just for you. And all you need to do is pop me an email, Craig K. Hostetler, which is Hostetler @gmail.com, and I'll fire that meditation process back to you so you can begin the journey of self-discovery. It was the esoteric Christians that said the cosmos without is infantile and small compared to the cosmos within. And that's where the true exploration needs to begin. So even the esoterics knew we are deep, powerful, wildly enigmatic, static motion, a process of the divine. And if anything needs to be explored, it is the cosmos within. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, if that's something you'd like to do, pop me an email. In fact, I'll even open it up to this. If you want to DM me on any of the social media platforms that we're connected on, I'll accept that as well, right? I just need an email from you so I can send you the process, so I can send you the meditation. I'd really love to give that to you absolutely free, and then hear about the benefits or the discoveries that you made during that process. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, man. I deeply appreciate it. Have a great day. Done.